that you are mindful of me. I'm weak. I will stop what I'm doing.
You said she slowed it down today. I did. I slowed it down a little bit today because this week is week number 3. So welcome. For you guys who are catching up, go back and watch watch the beginning, which is the intro. Okay, watch the intro and then watch days 1 through 14 to get caught up to where we are right now. You're not too late. You can start with us. It's a new week. We got new mercies. I'm so glad to be alive today because I have another chance just to give God some praise and some worship. And I slowed it down because this week is about intimacy. I'm very clear and I'm very direct in my text that without intimacy, there is no real relationship with God. Period. No matter how you skin that cat, no matter how you look at it, you have to be intimate with the Father. You have to. You have to spend time with Him. You have to take time with Him. You have to worship sometimes in the middle of your storms. Sometimes you have to sit and lay prostrate and not say anything so that you can get a directive. And so this week, I'm challenging you. Now, listen, we've done fervor. We've been paying attention, right? We've been being consistent. But right now is our time, not just your time, our time to up the ante when it comes to intimacy with the Father. It's important. And of course, if you haven't run to smsministries.co to grab your copy of How I Faith It Over, please go and do that. Go ahead and do that. Go do it now. I'll be here when you get back. Just press pause. I promise I'll be here when I get back. When you get back, rather. I'll be here when I get back. So, John chapter 4 says that God is spirit. But the hour is coming and is now here, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship Him. God is spirit, and those who worship Him do what? Must worship Him in spirit and in truth. Worship is key. Sometimes when you hear the word worship, we do think, okay, are we going to slow it down? It's going to be fast. And I say there's no tempo really to worship. I could have played any type of song because there is no tempo to worship. Shout out to Rick Warren. I think that was in his book, The Purpose-Driven Life. I don't have credit. I can't take credit for that, but I can tell you I remembered it. It stuck with me. Because I remember as a young girl being a minister of music or being on a praise and worship team, being a praise and worship leader. I used to get stuck in that, because people used to say, oh, you always want to do, you always want to blah, blah, blah. And I said, ho. The speed of a song does not determine my worship level, huh? I am worshiping my Father. But in order to even worship Him, in order to even understand this whole, spirit and truth situation, you actually have to know Him. You have to communicate with Him. And it's not a one-way communication. Us just pointing up. Us just, oh God, oh yeah. And us talking. It's actually listening. It's a two-way street. And I don't know why we don't trust God with our most intimate moments anyhow. He knew you before you were formed. He knew what you would be going through. He knew who you would be surrounding yourself with. And I want to stay right there. A lot of times we don't develop that intimacy because of who's around us. And you're probably like, how is that possible? It's very possible. So your first life work assignment. Normally I only give life work at the end of the week. But I'm going to give you some life work. Do some research on your circle of friends, your circle of family, those people that you have to have around in your life. Are they helping your plight? Are they helping you create intimacy with the Father? Are they encouraging you to build a relationship? Because I'll tell you one thing, every single relationship requires a level of intimacy. Without intimacy, there's no trust. Without intimacy, there's no real communication. Without intimacy, there's no respect. You have to be intimate on some type of level, and it's not always sexual. Hello? I remember being in State College, Pennsylvania, and I'm not sure who first coined this, so shout out to the pastor or teacher or leader who said this, but they said intimacy is broken down into in to me see. In to me see. We have free will, guys. We have a choice on whether we want to obey or not obey. We have a choice if we want to accept or not accept. God has given us a choice. But if you want to really get down to the brass tacks of things, and if you want to really get down to the nitty gritty of who you are, whose you are, why you are, when you are, how you are, you got to be intimate with the Father. He wants to see inside of you. Yeah, he knows everything. But it's something about that communication. It's something about that level of intimacy that you develop with him. When you're praying, when you're journaling, when you're just moaning, and sitting before the Father. So I want you to take some time this week to develop a stronger level of intimacy with the one who created you. So we're going to go out on this. I love this song, guys. You got it this week. Be vulnerable with the Father. Be vulnerable with him.